Hi guys, my name is Aaron from AI Trading FX and this is your free exclusive Airo training. So what is Airo? Airo is a visualized trading indicator that gives you a representation on the markets. It tells you which direction the market is going, whether it's trending up, trending down, or whether it's ranging. So my colleague Alfie will run through a quick 12-minute tutorial on how Airo works, and we'll be covering strategy number 1, which is the bag strategy. So over to you, Alfie.
So this is Airo. This is a manual trading tool, an indicator, a trading system, which I've been using to help me trade the markets. I trade crypto, indices, and Forex mainly with this tool. And it's made my trading so simple. It's helped me identify opportunities in the market. It actually alerts me when opportunities are forming. It marks out support and resistance, and it just makes my whole trading super simple. And it's been a great addition to my trading kind of skill set. But what I'm going to do today is I'm actually going to go over some examples of some good entries that we've caught with Airo. We're going to be touching on the main strategy today, which is the bag strategy. Now, bag stands for bounce, arrow, go, and we're essentially looking for a bounce off of support and resistance. We're looking for an arrow in the right direction, and we would then enter and go on that arrow. So as you can see here, we've got all of the charts up that I use on Airo in front of me. You can see that Airo is running on all of these charts. So let's first of all just open up a chart and dive straight in. So we're looking at the Euro JPY here. So we're looking for buy opportunities here because we don't actually trade against the trend on Airo, especially on this bag strategy 1, which I'm talking about today. So we don't counter trend on this strategy I'm showing you today. So we're looking for buy opportunities. So first of all, we can see one right here. We can see a bounce off of a support. We can see an arrow in the right direction. So we would have entered on this arrow and we could have actually ridden this trade up like that, and that would have been a very nice trade here. You can see another opportunities here. We've had a bounce, we've had an arrow, and you can see it's gone up in a good direction, so that means we could have made some nice profits off of that trade. But you can see here we did have a little bit of a spike down after we'd entered, but I usually like to place my stop loss below that support zone that it's bounced off of, so it wouldn't have been a problem for us and we could have continued to hold it and ride that trade up. So let's keep on looking for some new opportunities. We're going to try and keep this short and snappy today. So here, look, literally today we had a nice opportunity form. We've had a bounce off of support, we've then had an arrow, and we could have ridden that trade up. Now, it wouldn't have been the biggest move. Obviously, Airo isn't always going to catch those huge moves, so it wouldn't have been a huge move. And as you can see, we've had a down arrow here. And usually when I'm in a trade and I have a counter arrow form on the charts, I'll just get out. So on this trade, kind of a very small profit, but at the end of the day, it wasn't a huge loss or anything like that. You can then see we've had a bounce off and go, bounce arrow go here again, so you could have entered that trade. And we've even had a second arrow of form, so you could have re-entered on that. I personally don't re-enter. So you can see that we've had some very nice opportunities over the past few days, only just on Euro JPY. So you can clearly see on USD CAD that we're in a downtrend. There's more resistance zones than there is support zones, marked out by the different color of the zones. So another thing, Airo makes it super simple to identify the trend. So I can tell you right now that using the bag strategy 1, we are only looking for sell opportunities here. So let's look at the sell opportunities over the past few days. You can see that we've had a bounce arrow go. Would have been a very nice trade there. We've even had a second arrow and a second bounce. Once again, a very nice trade, a very nice sell opportunity there. The markets continue to fall down. We've then had another arrow, we've had another bounce, so we would have gone on this arrow and that would have been another great trade to place. We've then had a bounce, we've then had an arrow, another huge trade to place. And look guys, it's not always perfect, right? So you can see here, if I zoom in and get a little bit closer, you can see that we've had a bounce off of as a resistance. We then had an arrow, so we would have entered on the arrow, and the market hasn't really done anything. And like I spoke about, when we get an arrow in the other direction, I get out of that trade. So you can see I probably would have broke even on this trade, which would have been it wouldn't have been anything huge. A break even's better than a huge loss, right? And then right after that, we would have had a bounce arrow go and another great trade. Now, we can see here we've had bounce arrow goes off of support. Now, I wouldn't have entered these arrows, even though they would have gone in our favor. I wouldn't have done that because on the strategy 1, the most simple basic strategy. We do not trade against the trend, and that's what we've seen most success with. So let's look at EuroCAD now. We're going to keep this quick now. You can see we're in a downtrend. There's more resistance than support. We've seen a bounce arrow go, lovely trade there, invalid, bounce arrow go, once again kind of a break-even trade there because nothing's really happened, and we've had another arrow in the other direction, but then right after that, once again, bounce arrow go, very, very nice trade. Bounce arrow go, but counter trend, wouldn't have entered it. So what we're going to do now is we're going to look at the S&P 500 and see how it's been kind of performing on there over the past few days. So clearly we are in an uptrend right now, so we're only looking for buy opportunities. Now we've got a bounce arrow go, very nice trade. It's gone up a little bit, and this is S&P 500, so it moves quite fast and hard. You can see it's not done too well, but then it has reversed. So if you were to hold that trade, it would have been once again a very, very nice trade. This isn't me editing this Airo indicator, this is just what it's been performing over the past few days. We've seen another bounce, we've seen another arrow, a huge move there. Now we've had a bit of a messy few arrows here, but there's been no bounce off of the support, and the counter arrow is invalid anyway. So let's zoom in a little bit here. You can see it's been a little bit choppy here. So me personally, after having a buy and a sell arrow right that close to each other, I wouldn't have entered that trade. Personally, I just like to stay out of the markets. I'm quite conservative. I like to go in when I'm confident that the trade is going to be a smooth ride. Obviously, it doesn't always go in my favor, but you can see here, if you did enter on these arrows, it would have been a nice trade overall once you got out of that little messy section. We have had a bounce. We've had an arrow, here, in the right direction, but wouldn't have entered that trade. Now this is actually Airo sending me an alert kind of as we speak. So what we can do is actually, we can see another bounce arrow go, nice trade. We can see that we've had some arrows form on Australian dollar against the Canadian dollar and the New Zealand dollar against the Swiss franc. But what we can do is actually open these charts up now and see if they're valid trades, and we might actually place a trade right now. So let's find the Australian dollar against Canadian dollar. So we're in a downtrend, which is good, and we've had a sell opportunity form. But me personally, taking a look at this trade, I did actually enter on this trade and I secured like 10-15 pips today. But we can see that we've tried to have a bounce off of resistance and we've had a down arrow. I'm staying away from this trade. Let me tell you why. We've had a buy arrow right on the bounce. And normally if we have an arrow in the opposite direction to the way we want to go, I like to see another bounce off of that resistance or support just to confirm. And so, I mean, some people could enter this trade. Just me personally, I don't think that bounce is strong enough to confirm itself as a bag entry. So I'm going to move away from that now and not take that opportunity there. So you can see how quick it took for me to understand if I was taking that trade. That's what's so good about Airo. We can see, let's open this other alert here. Yeah, I'm not going to enter that. We have had a partial bounce, and it looks like it is with the trend, yeah, but we're right in a support zone. We're right in a support zone. I won't be entering that trade on strategy 1 because why would I enter a trade which is right on support or in the middle of support? Because no one really knows. It could reverse or it could push through. I'm not entering that trade. There's not been a clear bounce and it's right in front of a support or resistance. Another thing you need to make sure you're doing with Airo is you need to make sure that you're leaving yourself enough room to the next support or resistance. So you could have a bounce and an arrow, but if there's a resistance zone 5 pips in front, why would you enter that trade? You don't enter that trade. I only enter a trade which has around 20 to 30 pips movement till the next zone, because that way I've just seen good results like that. And I'm not going to enter a trade if it's heading right into a support or resistance. Now, let's take a look at gold. I love trading gold with Airo, honestly. I love it. So clearly gold is in a huge downtrend recently, so we're only looking for sell opportunities. And this is actually on the hour time frame. Airo works on any time frame, but that's the positive thing. People who don't want to scout the markets can trade on the 1 hour, on the 4 hour. Some people even trade on the day 1 with Airo, but the majority of people trade on the 15, the 5, and the 1 hour. So here you can see a bounce arrow go, a very, very, very nice drop off of gold there. We've had an up arrow, invalid, very nice double double Airo after a bounce here. A huge trade there. And you determine your own stop loss and take profit. The more and more you get used to this product, the more and more you'll be able to understand kind of how, when an arrow presents itself, that's how long the movement tends to go if it goes in your favor. I've kind of on average been kind of setting a take profit. It depends what time frame I'm on. If I'm on a 1 hour time frame, I'll normally go for like 50 to 100 pips, or if I'm on 15 minutes, I'll go anywhere from around 20 pips. So it's really dependent on what time frame you're using, the pair you're using, and everything. There's a ton of things into it, which is kind of gone over in the educational system, which comes with Airo. But you can see we've had another bounce, we've had another arrow, huge opportunity, invalid, valid, buy, sell, sorry, nice little sell there. And we've had an arrow here. We've had a bounce, we've had an arrow, so I'm actually gonna get in that trade right now. So bear with me, guys. So you can see here that I've just placed my sell trade here on gold. You can see that I've placed my stop loss just above kind of the peaks of the past couple of pushes into that resistance zone. And I've placed my stop loss just in front of the next support zone. This could change. I do often, I'm not too set on this take profit, but I'm just gonna place it right now whilst I'm recording this video. I'm gonna go back over it after this video and see if I can get maybe a nicer take profit. But look, a perfect opportunity. Bounce, arrow, go. Enter the sell trade. You can now see my pips that I'm catching being caught and registered on the arrow pips counter. So that's it. I'm in a trade now, which is good stuff. So
and that's it. That it really is as simple as that. And that's your strategy number 1. And there are 10 strategies altogether with the Airo manual trading indicator. So guys, I just wanted to go over what you get when you purchase Airo. So you get training videos on all 10 strategies from the developer himself. You also have the opportunity to trade live with the developer on the London trading session. You also get to trade live with professional traders using the Airo Indicator tool on the New York trading session with professional traders. You also get access to our Airo Telegram chat where all our other Airo users are in there and using the indicator. You also get access to our Chief Market Analyzer, Mr. Stephen Vetterall, who is a regulated financial advisor with 15 years experience in Forex and portfolio management. You get access to his twice a week Zoom calls where he breaks down the markets and explains all the high impacting news and tells you what kind of market we're going to have, whether it's going to be a volatile week or whether it's going to be a calm week. You'll also be given a VPS where you can access Airo from anywhere in the world and on any tablet, whether your phone or laptop, plus a 24/7 dedicated support group where if you have any issues you can send them an email, raise a ticket, and they will get to you very quickly as they operate 24/7. And seeing as you made it this far in the training video, I'm also going to be adding another bonus where you can join me and my private group of traders trading Airo throughout the day. Now I know you're probably wondering how much is all of this, how much the Airo indicator is and all the bonuses that I've just mentioned. So the price of the Airo indicator plus everything mentioned is $119 US per month. Very good value for everything you get with it. So you do really get the whole package with Airo. So there should be no excuses for you not to succeed with Airo. And that's it guys, just to wrap it up here, I hope you enjoyed your free exclusive Airo training. If you have any questions, any queries at all, just give me a message on my Instagram, which is AI Trading FX. Be more than happy to show you any live demonstrations over a Zoom and just answer any general queries about trading. If you would like to go ahead and purchase Airo, I will leave a link in the description where you can go ahead and purchase a bronze access pass. Once you have purchased your bronze access pass, I will then contact you and message you via Telegram and introduce you to my team. And that's all guys. Once again, thank you very much for watching the trading and I hope to see you soon.